All right. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our virtual mini academy. Tonight we have with us Mr. Matthew Fitzpatrick. The title is Welcome to Not Your Daddy's Shop, class CTE 101, and he is from Orlando, Orange County Technical College.
Okay, good evening. It's a great pleasure to be here. I love talking about helping people find careers. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about a couple of our students, a couple of stories, share a little bit, and then I'll answer any questions that you might have. Um, my first student I'd just like to talk about, and I'm talking about Orange Technical College and the options that Orange Technical College has for students. We have 5 campuses throughout the Orange County. Uh, we have the West Campus, the South Campus, the Main Campus, the East Campus, and the Avalon Campus. So we have a little bit spread throughout Orange County. What I would tell anyone who's looking, if they're an adult and they're looking for a career, I would tell them to go to the campus and talk to a counselor. If they are at a high school, I would tell them to go to their guidance services department and talk to their career specialists. We have career specialists in every high school that can answer questions that students may have, and they can help them get into our dual enrollment programs. So, just a couple things about some of the exciting opportunities that students have. I was talking, and a lot of what I know about the reality of technical education is from talking to people. And I encourage students to talk to people that are in jobs that they might be interested in. I was talking to one student, and this student was, he told me that, when he was 19 years old, he was working at a Target, and his job was to put together bicycles, and um, and he was expecting a child, and one of his coworkers that was a little bit older told him, "You need to get a trade because you got to support your family. You need to get a trade." And he said, "What's a trade?" And the older gentleman told him what a trade was, like being an electrician or an AC repair person or maybe an automotive repair person. So he joined the electrical apprenticeship program that we have. And the electrical apprenticeship program, how it works is, if someone wants to be an electrician, I could make a phone call tomorrow and we can get them a job because we work with 250 different electrical companies. And this is for our apprenticeship program. So he got a job working with the apprenticeship. Now, once you get a job, they have to, they'll see how good of a worker you are for 2 months, 60 days. They'll try you out. And if they believe in you and if they think they want to invest in you, they will pay for your education. So he did that, and he worked through the apprenticeship program, which is 4 years long. And he ended up completing the program, and he got his journeyman's license. And him and his friends, this is just an option. This is something that's possible. It's not something everyone does, but him and his friends quit their local jobs. And there's a high need area out in North Dakota, and they went out there and they worked for the construction company, and they were making $4,500 a week, working 10-hour days, 13 days straight, and then they have to take a day off. $4,500 a week. Now they did that for 3 months. Now a lot of times these construction companies will pay a lot because they have to meet deadlines and they get bonuses and they pass it on to their workers. $4,500 a week for 4 years of being an apprentice. That was just one option that I was amazed to hear. But that's in technical education. If you do the math of $4,500 a week, that's somewhere around $200,000 a year, and that's in a technical program. Another I was talking to an AC repair student. This student was just about done. The teacher said, "Oh, this guy's one of our best." He was going to leave making $25 an hour, and I asked the teacher, What is it about him that makes him special? Why is he earning so much? And he said, well, he came in here focused. He came in here and he wanted to learn everything. He was on time every day. He came every day and he listened and he owned the material. So he was leaving as a service tech too, making $25 an hour. And you'll move up fast if you're good at what you do. I was talking to the AC repairman at my own house, and we got to talking. He had been in the business for 10 years, and he said that his boss takes care of him. His boss didn't want to lose him. I said, well, how much can someone make in this kind of industry working for 10 years? He said, well, and he just volunteered. He didn't mind sharing. He said he's making $120,000, and his boss doesn't want to lose him because any other company would hire him. If you look at some of the construction vans, billboards, they're all saying now hiring because people need people that have skills. So $120,000 as I think he was 28 years old, 10 years in the industry, doing quite well. That's what's possible. Now you got to be willing to start out low, work your way up, and show people that they want to keep you. Another student, and this is one of my favorite stories. This was in one of our programs. It was a major appliance repair program. All right, this student, his cousin told him, hey, you ought to join this program, because the student didn't know what he wanted to do. He just graduated from Jones High School, didn't know what he wanted to do. His cousin said, hey, join this major appliance repair program. It's a good program. It's a good teacher. So he went and joined up with the program. And within the first month after joining the program, he was out at different resorts trying to get a job. He figured, he needs money. Why not try to use some of the skills he's learning? The first resort he went to said no. They weren't hiring. Well, he went back to that same resort another time. They said no again. He went a third time in that first month. Finally, the maintenance manager decided to hire him. Well, what does that tell me? That tells me you can't take the first no. You got to believe in yourself. Show someone that you really want a job. And also, maybe they just wanted to get rid of him, or they wanted to, okay, this guy must be serious. We're going to give him a chance. Well, believe it or not, that student was going to school from 7:30 to 2:30, and then going to work from 3:30 to 11:30. That student became one of the best employees at that resort. So sometimes the resort maintenance manager is wrong. They don't hire someone that's great. So you got to believe in yourself. And this student had a passion for learning. The resort trained him, and he was getting trained at school. This guy was so good that the resort manager came to our school and said, hey, do you have any other students like this guy? We need to hire more people like him. So that's what is possible. Now, this student, in 1 year training, all the major appliance repair companies were fighting over him. There was a bidding war to see who was going to be able to hire him. And he ended up making $31 an hour after 1 year of training. $31 an hour, and he got a company van. And he was probably going to move up fast because he had a great attitude. Something else that happened, all the other students in the program saw all the attention this student was getting, and they started up in their game, and they wanted to be like him. They wanted to learn. They wanted to try. They wanted to focus on their learning. Another student I just want to talk about is in our automotive program. This particular student was in our T10 program, which is you get specific training to work on Toyota or Lexus. So when you finish this 2-year program, you can work at a Toyota or Lexus company or dealership in the whole country. They see that you got T10 certified, they're going to hire you throughout the whole country. So this particular student, what happens is you get into an internship. We help you get a job at a Toyota dealership or a Lexus dealership. This one worked at a Lexus dealership. He was one of our best students. In fact, this particular student was part of our Skills USA program this year, and he won a state championship. He won the state championship for automotive repair. He went on to the national championship contest, and he was 10th in the nation. Now, the nice thing about our automotive programs is when we get you an internship, they give you a mentor to work with you. So not only are you getting mentored and taught at the dealership, but you're also getting taught at the school. So 5 days a week, you'll go to school from 7:45 till 2:25, and then you might work maybe 20 hours a week. Some during the day, and then maybe a little bit on the weekend sometimes, but maybe 20 hours a week. But with his mentorship, his mentor, uh, they have the master techs that are the mentors, and you want to learn from the best. This particular master tech was getting paid something called flat rate. Now, what flat rate means is they'll get their 40. This master tech was making around $45 an hour for his labor, and he gets flat rate. So if he does a oil job, they might give him 1 hour for that, but he might be able to finish it in 30 minutes, but he's going to be paid for an hour. If he does a brake job, they might pay him for 3 hours, but he might be able to finish it in 1 hour. So by the end of the week, with all this flat rate, this particular mentor was booking 80 hours a week at $45 an hour. If you do the math on that, that's about $150,000 as a mechanic. Now, having a good mentee, our student was a really good mentee that could do a lot of work for him. He made him a lot of money, and that's the possibility. Especially if you're a good worker, you're going to move up fast. Now, to get flat rate pay means you're going to get paid by the job a set amount of time. And that's where you can really start banking a lot of hours. Some guys they'll work 20. They might work 20 hours and get paid for 40 hours, but they're good, and that's it. That's all they need. Others want to get the 80 hours and only work 40 hours. So the thing that I want to stress to you is that anything is possible, but you got to find out what you're interested in, and you got to find out what's available. Another story I have is about a diesel technician student. This diesel technician student actually didn't even have a car when he finished the program, and he had to ride the bus to work. And the boss told him, "Look, this is going to be tough for you. You got to be on time. You got to be here every day, and you got to work hard." And this particular student did that. He was on time every day. He was there every day. He was working hard. Something else that he did to set himself apart, when the company was offering some training that wasn't required, but it was available. And this particular employee, he took all the training. It wasn't even required, but he wanted to learn. And he moved up. He went from making $16 an hour as a diesel technician to making $31 an hour, and he was a supervisor because he set himself apart. He went after, he had the initiative to get training. That's something that I tell students to do, man. Look for ways to set yourself apart. The other thing I just want to say about our program, again, you can come to any campus or you can talk to a career specialist on the campus. The way it works, if you're in high school, you can sign up. If you're on track to graduate and you have a 2.0 GPA, you can sign up to take a dual enrollment program at one of our main campuses, one of the OTC campuses, or you can look at the programs that we have out at the high schools, because we have some of our dual enrollment programs at each of the high schools. They can sign up for those as well. Now, the nice thing about taking a dual enrollment program through OTC is the fact that you can get accelerated credit. So if you get an A in one of our classes, that actually counts for 6 points for your GPA instead of 4 points. And when you come to an OTC campus, the classes counts for 3 classes. So you'd get a 6 point for first period, second period, and third period if you take it in the morning. If you took a class in the afternoon, you get it for fourth, fifth, and sixth. again, that's like a power booster to your GPA because it's accelerated credit. It's college, technical college credit. So it's an excellent option for students to improve their GPAs. But you have to have that 2.0 to start, and you have to be on track for graduation so that you don't have to take intensive reading or intensive math or anything along those lines to graduate. Now, some other programs that we have a lot of technical programs. We have IT programs where students can learn about network security. They can learn about IT desk support. We have a photography program that's top notch. I know one student, she came to us. She was actually going to Valencia and trying to major in photography, but she was having to take all these other, maths and sciences and stuff. And she didn't want all that. She just wanted the career skills for photography. So she left, and she had a scholarship to Valencia, but she left and came to us so she could just learn the skills because she wanted to start a business in photography. So she came to us for a 1-year program, got the skills, and got a business started. Another lady that also took our photography program, she's kind of creative and it's a good idea. She signed up as a substitute teacher so she can make, $100 a day as a sub in the morning. And then in the evening and the weekend, she worked as a photographer. So she kind of balanced that out and found a way to get her business going. So she'd make the money as a sub, and then she would do her photography business on the side until it's up and running. So she's doing quite well. Another program that we have is culinary, where students can learn food skills. They can learn to be a chef. They can learn to work in the hospitality industry. That's something that's big here in Orlando. Lots of opportunities. They can work their way up. Other options that students have, we have a program called Mechatronics. It's kind of a neat program where students learn to work on all the intricate features of little electronics. They learn to solder motherboards and learn to power things. I saw one student, he was making a remote control car in there. Another student was working on a drone. And I know this one student, when he finished the program, he brought in all of his broken toys from when he was younger and he fixed them all. He said to me, I can fix anything. But when you learn those things in mechatronics, it does open a world to you where you see how things work and you can then apply that. Now, they can also work in big factories or mills, very important position, because they might keep the whole assembly line working. Something goes down, they need someone quickly to get it back working again because the company's losing tens of thousands of dollars and they need that person. So they might only really work certain times, but they always have to be available. Other programs that we have a modeling and simulation program. We have a 3D animation program. Students can learn to use 3D animation software. Now, we had one student that applied at a more popular 3D animation university, and it was going to cost $100,000. This program, and his what he said to me was, that's what I would expect to pay for a house. Of course, not now, but back then, $100,000. And he said, and then he went to another company, and they wanted this extensive portfolio. He didn't even know how to make a portfolio for 3D animations. How do you even get into the program? Well, the nice thing is our program doesn't cost $100,000. It costs $2.92 a credit hour and a clock hour. I'm sorry, and it's a 1-year program, maybe 1,080 hours. So you're talking about maybe $3,000 to $4,000 for the program instead of $100,000. And the students can learn those skills to make that portfolio. So if they want to go on to something bigger, they've got something. They've learned the skills to make what they need. So that's something that to be a stepping stone to another program. Speaking of stepping stones, we do have a pharmacy tech program. We get a lot of students that want to go into some type of medical career, and in high school they might sign up for a pharmacy tech. You're going to learn all kinds of different things about the different terminology and the drugs and the diseases and all kinds of ways that the hospitals work with the medications. And if students want to get into a medical school, it's a good thing to have some type of certifications under their belt when they're applying. We had one student that was wanting to be a doctor. This student signed up to take our PCA class, our patient care assistant class, which is one of the lower levels of in terms of patient care. You're talking about helping someone that maybe might work in a retirement home, or someone that might live in a nursing home, and you're taking care of them at their bedside. This student, his goal was to be in med school and be a doctor, but he started out as a patient care assistant, and he said he wanted to learn all levels of patient care. And he got accepted into med school. So it helps to have something that sets you apart. And that's something that does, is when you take a stepping stone, such as a patient care assistant program, or you take a pharmacy tech program, or even an LPN or medical assistant program. We've got a lot of thriving medical assistant programs, and lots of students want to take those programs because the hospitals are in desperate need for employees in those areas. Some other programs that we have, welding. Welding's a very popular program. In fact, it seems like everybody's talking about welding, and I still remember one welding student who he was so focused when he came to our school. He came in and concentrated and got his certifications. That was something that he wasn't just learning from the teacher and working on different projects. He also wanted to focus on getting those certifications. So he's the only one at the time that had the certification. One of the area hospitals was still in the process of being built, and construction superintendent came over to our school and asked our teacher, "Do you have anyone that's certified, that's got their certifications?" And the teacher said, "You know what? I have one student." And they hired him part-time at $50 an hour on the weekends. $50 an hour. Because, when these construction companies, when they have to meet deadlines, they have to find employees to do the work. And they'll pay a high rate for a short period of time until the project is done. $50 an hour on the weekend, $20, right? 20 hours a week, and at $50 an hour, that is a lot of money. That student was making $1,000 a weekend, simply at having those skills, being able to use them, getting that far ahead. Another program that we have that I kind of like, because we had one. This is just kind of bridges into this story. We had one welding student that had a job, a pipe welding job, 1-year program plus a little bit extra to get the pipe welding certification. Offered a job $30 an hour right out of school. $30 an hour. He did that for 3 months, and he discovered something. And this is important to discover as you're looking for a career. He discovered that, maybe he wanted to do something else. And that's an important thing, that, okay, now I found out, I like having a skill, but it's not something I want to do. So even though he was making $30 an hour, he wanted to become a truck driver. His father was a truck driver. His father was an owner operator, which meant his father owned the semi truck and he operated it. And he had, if you're an owner operator, you got to fix it, you got to service it. His father was making $7,000 a week. $7,000, $350,000 being a truck driver. Of course, you got a lot of expenses there that come out of that. So he went and took our CDL program to become a truck driver. Now he is a truck driver, and he's quite happy. But it's got to be the right thing for you. We had another student that came to us that was a truck driver, who was making $55,000 a year, He's done it for a couple of years, and he had a child come, and he wanted to spend more time at home, so truck driving wasn't for him. So he jumped into our diesel technician program. Or, he was looking to, maybe I can be some kind of mechanic. So it's all about finding what works for you and not being afraid to reinvent yourself. I could go on and talk a few more stories, but I'd really like to see if there's any questions out there, or anyone that would like to ask any specific things, or they want specific information. I don't know if you guys even have an ability to ask me questions or to chat. If you do have the ability to chat, you could at least maybe type out a question, and I can let me see if I can open up. Since we don't have no, I don't think I can do that. I see Mr. Lopez and I see Kiera. Let me well, I'll keep talking here for a minute. There is a chat option. If you have any questions, let me just pull that up here. Let's see. Okay. The all right, I'm just trying to play with this. Oh, Kira says, I joined around 6, so I apologize if this has been asked already, discussed. No, nothing's been asked. Let me see. Here, I just lost your little question. Here it is. Is this all offered at one specific location or at a high school? Well, we have different programs that are offered at different schools, different different campuses have different programs. If you go to Orange Tech OrangeTechCollege.net, you can see a list of all those programs, and I can certainly send you. I can certainly send you that information here. Let me just send something to everyone here. Okay. Let's see. So, and if you do stop by a school, we have this little quick guide. Inside the quick guide, let's see, it really wants to see me, doesn't it? Inside the quick guide, it has each of the programs, and it says which campus they're on. Okay. So that's what you can see at. But if you have a specific program that you're asking about, I can tell you where that program is. And we do have programs at the high schools, different programs. Unfortunately, we can't afford to have the programs at every school because they're expensive. So we try to consolidate some of them on our technical college campuses, and others we can put, like culinary programs. Most of our schools have a culinary program. Now, like if you're talking about automotive, only a couple of our high schools have an automotive program, and only one of our high schools have a diesel program, Popka High School. So it all depends on what school you're near, and it depends on. But any high school student can always, we bus our students from their high school to the technical college campuses if they are eligible for that. All right, so let's see if we got some more of that. Let me also just asking in general, I'd love to show the presentation to both my kids and get their thoughts. Will this recording be available for future review? I believe so. What programs are your children, students, kids interested in. I can talk a little bit more about those programs if that would be helpful. I try to talk to a lot of students and find out where they've come from and where they're going, whether they're high school or adult students, because I like to know what's possible. What's possible? What are students really doing? Not just what's out there, but what's really happening. We had one student that I was really impressed with. He took our welding program and he took our machining program. He had an interesting combination. And you're talking about two programs that you could finish a year each. So in 2 years, he had two very valuable skills. And he happened to get a job out at the airport making $35 an hour. 2 years of training, and he was out there working at the airport with those skills. So sometimes it's nice to stack different skills together. I do see different electricians. Sometimes electricians will also take HVAC, the air conditioning, heating, ventilation repair, because 85% of that program is electrical. Electrician, the electrical program is a very important and very valuable program because it applies to so much, even in automotive. We had one technician from Nissan come to speak to our students, and this guy said, "Look, he was an electrical engineer, right? And then he went to work for Nissan, and he became the electrical technician. And he was willing to share what he made last year. This guy made $200,000 as an electrical technician at Nissan. And what he said to our students was this: he said, look, all the energy that you have to learn in this automotive program, put it into learning the electrical side of automotive repair, because everything's going to electric. Everything's going to computers. Right now, cars have no less than 30 computers in them. So if you understand the electrical side of it, you can fix a lot of things that go wrong with cars. I see a question here about vet assisting. We have some vet assisting programs at high schools, but we no longer have that program at our technical colleges. Unfortunately, it was a program that was cut. It's a program that I loved. I even took my dog to the vet assisting program, and it was a very valuable program. I was very sad to see that one go, but that unfortunately, we still have it at a couple of our high schools, but not at our technical college. So I'm sorry about that. Let's see what else we've got here. If I had to guess, I would say pharmacy tech and computer sciences. Both of mine are at Timber Creek High School right now. Those two programs are very popular. We got a pharmacy tech program right across the street from Timber Creek High School. And then we have the computer science, an excellent computer science program. And we also have a modeling and gaming modeling simulation program out there. If students have those skills, they're going to be able to do a lot of stuff in the future, because everything's going to coding, and those positions are very lucrative. And those companies are always hiring, and they're always trying to keep their best people. So nothing that I could recommend more than those two programs. Both pharmacy tech we get a lot of students that want to become pharmacists. Why not get a head start while you're in high school and take that pharmacy tech program and learn all that? No matter what you go into in the medical field, that's a great foundation. Let's see what other program. You have a film program, or yes, we have a digital cinematography program at our South Campus, which is off of Oak Ridge and John Young Parkway. Program my son actually took. Some of our high schools have digital video programs, and I believe we're starting a digital video program at our East Campus, We have a new East Campus that's being built right next to University High School. And so that campus, that East Campus, is more of our technology hub. It's going to have, that's going to be the main focus of the programs there. We have a digital audio program there as well. It's at the Avalon campus now, but it will be moving eventually. So that's, but the digital cinematography program is a good program if you're looking at maybe something in film, depending on if you're an adult or if you're a high school student. Of course, high school students can take it at the South Campus through dual enrollment. They'll get bused there for 3 periods a day. So that's a great option if that's what students want to experience. Let's see here. Any other questions? We still got a little bit more time here. Let me see if I can put in here to everyone what the web address is, and you can go to this address and go to the program certificate program. Let's see here. Tech College.net. OrangeTechCollege.net. See here.
While you're taking care of that, there is a question in the chat.
Yep.
What grade do you have to be in to do the dual enrollment for cinematography?
11th and 12th grade is currently the requirement for to do the digital cinematography. Here's Orange Tech College.net. So generally, to go off campus, it's a it's requirement to be 11th or 12th grade. On the home campus, there could be an opportunity to take some of those, to accelerate a little bit, maybe take some of those programs earlier. That's, it just depends upon the program and what school you're at for that. Most high schools, I know this was a priority, most high schools have a digital video technician program. So if you're at a high school, I would say talk to your career specialist at the high school. Go into the guidance services, talk to the career specialist, and ask them about the digital video technician program. Let's see. Okay, thank you. That's great. And Dr. Phillips it's kind of a digital video magnet, and they have a very good teacher. But sometimes what you'll find is the program could be just a secondary program, which is run by the high school, or it could be a dual enrollment program that's run by the Orange Technical College campus. Okay. The standards are a little bit different. Obviously, you're not getting the accelerated credit that you would get at Orange Technical College. I believe at Dr. Phillips, they have a secondary program. It's not an Orange Technical College program, but they have a very good program. Couldn't recommend that one more. But again, if that wasn't what they wanted, if your child wanted to go off to the technical college campus, I believe they can do that with the East Campus in the near future, probably next year, if that's what they want to do. All right. They can get those certifications at the high schools, yes. The certifications that they'd be looking at a high school, the certification they'd be looking at a high school are in the Adobe suite. So they'll probably look at Adobe, Premiere, They could also look at Photoshop and Illustrator. Um, so different things along those lines, different certifications within that program. It'd probably take the same certifications that they would take at the technical college campus. All right, Kira drop. That's okay. Yes, he's taking that now. Okay. And he can always move on to the college one after taking the high school program. The Adobe Suite is the main things that I said that he would learn for the certification program. They used to do one called Final Cut, and there's a couple others that they could also look at. That's not exactly what we instruct in the classroom. There's a lot of different programs that they could learn. Premiere is one of the industry standards, and that's why we use that Adobe Suite. But there are definitely others, and a lot of them are similar in the way that they interface and different ways you got to navigate their different tools. Any other questions? You're welcome there, Don. Let's see if I have anything else. I want to share. Certainly open to ask more questions. I would. We have another program that I really like. It's our auto collision program, very popular, where students learn to repair automobiles, trucks, anything that collisions. So much work out there for. They learn to fix dents, to paint, all kinds of different. I think a lot of adult students actually take the program so they can learn to work on their own cars. It's a very popular program. What other programs do we have that I want to share? I know we got a few more minutes. Is that right? Still got. Okay. I don't know if anyone's still on with us. We still got anyone on with us?
Yes, we still
Okay.
have to.
Okay. Let's see. We can talk. We got a cybersecurity program that's it's one of our hot programs. Every company needs some type of cybersecurity protection. This particular program will train students on the different tools to use. It's part of our IT cluster, but these students, they'll learn ethical hacking, which means they'll learn to hack. They learn to hack into a company to show them where their weaknesses are. That's why they call it ethical hacking. So they learn, how to hack in order to help companies protect themselves. So that's cybersecurity, and everyone needs that again. We got cosmetology and facials, specialty and advanced aesthetics out at our West Campus. These programs are very popular. It's a brand new campus out there in Winter Garden, Ocoee area, right next to Ocoee High School. Brand new campus, brand new equipment, facilities, unbelievable. They even have different what do they call it? Clinical hours where people can come in and they might want to get their nails done, or they might want to, it's all these kind of services because students need to practice. Bringing that up, we also have a massage therapy program, a very popular program out at our Avalon campus. Again, students need to practice. So I know a lot of employees take advantage of those massage therapy. One of our students, a massage therapy student that I'm just amazed with, he went and started his own business out there in the Avalon area. And not only that, he's doing quite well with a little massage spa. and he's hiring our students. So and one of the things he said was he learned to start a business in the class because the teacher has the students come up with a business plan. And this particular student just put his business plan in action, and he's doing really well. Very impressed with him. We have a dental assisting technology and management program at our main campus downtown. We have let's see, I'd like to talk just a second, since we got a little bit of time, about our apprenticeship programs. Our apprenticeship program, what sets them apart, and what I think is just a amazing thing, is that students can learn and earn at the same time, which means they get a job during the day where they're working with a company, and then at night, maybe one night a week, maybe 2 nights a week, for anywhere from 2 years to 5 years, depending upon the program, they get free schooling. The company pays for them to learn. So they learn the job at school at night, but they're also doing the job as much as they can during the day. And the boss knows that they don't know everything, and they're starting out as a helper, but they're learning. And it's a great way to find out, do I like this? Some of the programs that we have, an electrical wiring program, we have a masonry program, we have a fire sprinkler program, we have a plumbing program, we have a carpentry program, we have a mechanical diesel technician program. We actually work with Disney with. We have, what else do we have? We have a pipe fitters program. We work with an iron workers program. So all these different programs. The neat thing is, when students graduate these programs, they can get a job, and they already have a job, and a lot of times their employer wants to hire them right away. But they can get a job, and they know exactly what they're going to be doing. In regular college, you graduate, you're kind of wondering, all right, what's this going to be like out in the career field? Am I going to like this? But when you're in an apprenticeship, you've been working out there in the career field. You know exactly what to expect. When those guys graduate, a lot of the employers are out in the stands. It's not just their families that are at their graduation. It's the employers that are watching these students graduate, and they want to hire them right away because they know what they can do. They know how good they are, and they want to get them before someone else gets them. The apprenticeship program, I can't encourage you enough to try that, because one, it's free. The employer's paying for it. Two, you come out knowing exactly what the job is like, and you know if you're going to like it. If you don't like it, you stop long before you graduate. So it's a great opportunity. I remember one student, he was in high school, and he started this summer pre-apprenticeship program to be an electrician. And, his dad was a concrete worker, and his dad, when he told his dad that he wanted to go into construction, his dad was so devastated, so upset. He said, "Son, don't go into construction. You got to do better than me. You got to stay in school, go to college." But his son loved the construction field. He loved the electrical field, electrical wiring. And he went into that. He went into the apprenticeship program, and then he got a job as an electrician, making good money. And then he ended up starting his own business, and he'd be a subcontractor, where some of the companies that he worked for would be subbing work to him. And he built a business to the point where he had 40 employees working for him. It's a young guy, and he's doing quite well. And his father, his biggest concern, "I want you to do better than me." He was doing a lot better than his dad. He had 40 employees under him as an electrical contractor, business owner. So that's the apprenticeship programs. It's a great job. If someone said, "Hey, I got someone that wants to get into the electrical apprenticeship program," I'd make a call right now. In fact, I'd send a text to one of our directors. I'd say, hey, I got someone that needs a job. And they could look on their list because they work with 250 different companies. They could look on their list. They always have a hot list of companies that are hiring right now. And they could give one of those companies a call and say, hey, we got a student that's looking to get into the program. They'd hire you within a week. And, within 2 months, if they see that you're the kind of employee that they want to invest in, they'll pay for your education and they'll get you into that program. So it's like an instant ability to get a job in many of our apprenticeship programs. All right. What else do we got? Any other questions? I don't see any other questions. I can keep talking if you like.
If there's no more questions,
Am I the only one here?
yes, it's you, and we have one more attendee still on.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
If they don't have any other questions, we can go ahead and end for the night.
All right.
No
Let's
more
see.
questions.
No more questions.
Okay. All right. Well, we would like to thank everyone for attending the Virtual Mini Academy for tonight. And thank you as well, Mr. Fitzpatrick, for joining
My
us
pleasure.
also.
My
Okay.
pleasure. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. Everyone have a good night.
All right.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Yep. Bye.